Bienvenidos, Fright fans across the globe. Jaime En Fuego here, coming at you virtually through the interwebs from the deadly desert here in Arizona. And it is my honor and pleasure to be covering for the very first time virtually the prestigious Fantasia Festival. And I believe Tarantino in the poll quote said the most important and prestigious genre film festival on this continent. And this is the 29th incarnation that is coming at y'all from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And yeah, being here in the deadly desert of Arizona, I am not able to make it up to the Great White North to cover this, but have the virtual opportunity to check out some screeners and then also give those who may be attending in person just kind of the heads up about what I think are the 6 best opportunities for you to get some great genre fare in the first 5 days of the festival, because as of this filming here on Wednesday the 16th, the event is about to commence with Ari Aster's latest entitled Eddington. But let's get to it with the things that I think should be on your radar for these first few days. And today we have the premiere of a film called Hold the Fort. And so I gotta say, I love when horror and comedy kind of get their intermingling together. This is about a couple that moves to like more of a suburban spot from in the city, and they have a strange homeowners association to deal with some odd ties without getting into too much stuff. But the trailer looks super fun, from the synthy score to just the gory, gooey goofiness. And I have always loved, all the way back to the Raimi Evil Dead trilogy, and then even Brain Dead or Dead Alive, by Peter Jackson, as it was known here in the States. And then even more recent stuff like Deadstream. This looks right up my alley. But today it premieres, but then you also have a second opportunity to check it out on the 26th on Saturday. So that is pretty exciting. And then tomorrow on the 17th, we have the one and only screening of a film called The Wailing, not to be confused with, I believe, the South Korean film that came out within the last decade or so that was highly celebrated. But this is a co-production between France, Argentina, and Spain. The actual title is LLanto. But so this takes place about 2 decades disparate in as far as the time period goes. And so we've got these 2 different characters, both of which believe themselves to be cursed, and I'm assuming perhaps one is in Argentina, the other is in España, but there is a link as far as the curse goes. The trailer looks delightfully eerie and yet leaves a very inherent air of mystery, which I really am stoked to check out if possible. And so that is my number 2 for the first, week/weekend of the festivities. And then next up, which is making its big premiere on Friday the 18th. Sorry guys, I'm double checking the schedule here. We have It Ends. And so this is one I believe had some initial buzz coming out of South by Southwest. It is kind of like a time loop thriller sort of bit with maybe a bit of a sci-fi slant, because there are these youths who are in a vehicle that are on an endless road, and they have their vehicles not even losing gas or anything like that. And so it is them coming to terms with just what they actually have to do to perhaps get out of this loop. And so that is another thing that I am very stoked to check out. It plays on Friday the 18th at Fantasia, and then there's also a second opportunity, from as I am looking right here, for Wednesday the 30th. And so next up, as I am kind of doing this in alphabetical order almost, but not quite, the one and only screening of Noise, which takes place on Thursday the 17th. This is a South Korean film about a girl who moves in with her younger sister to an apartment complex. She's of the hearing impaired, so she wears hearing aids and whatnot, but her sister goes missing, and she is overwhelmed with a feeling of an otherworldly presence of sorts that she can hear, from what I can gauge from the trailers, even without her hearing aids in. And so they do say that other senses are heightened when you're hearing impaired, and this is something she can almost feel even more so than hear. It looks delightfully dreadful, very much on the serious side. There's creepy neighbors and stuff too. I mean, K-horror, as they like to call it, has in many minds not so much supplanted J-horror, but taken a lot more of the attention as far as some of the nuances about it that are different from horror that comes from Japan or other areas of the far east of Asia. Then we have a film entitled Good Boy, and so this is, I believe, an American film. It's going to be playing one day only on Saturday the 19th, and this is one that I have been hearing about for a number of months since it hit the festival circuit, because it is told entirely from the perspective of Indy, this dog. And so Indy has moved with his owner to this new home, but they also, just like I was saying with noise, canines and animals have a heightened sense of things that often humans cannot pick up on, whether it's hearing or other things. I always think of when I was like really little and there were goosebump stories where like the dogs could sense whether the people were ghosts, like Ghost Beach, and I think they did that in Welcome to the Dead House, stuff like that. I'm kind of aging myself a little bit here, but yeah, Good Boy. I am just very, I was initially wondering if it was about like potential abuse of a dog or something, but it doesn't seem to be that. It seems to be the dog is sensing a presence and trying to warn its owner of some sense of impending doom. The owner has some health problems and kind of a badgering sister and whatnot. I could not locate a trailer of this, but just based on the buzz I have seen from other people within the horror press, it seems like a definitive winner to me. And then lastly, I believe indeed is a film that may not be completely on the scarific side of things, but it is one that I am immensely intrigued by. It is a Mexican stop-motion animation film entitled I Am Frankelda. And so I guess the filmmakers behind this had some prior experience with like short form series and stuff on Adult Swim Latin America, HBO Max. So some of their prior work has been floating around, but this is, as proclaimed in the Fantasia source material and stuff, and like the programming guide, the first feature-length stop-motion animation coming from Mexico. It takes place in the 19th century, definitely giving me some like Pan's Labyrinth kind of vibes, even though that took place during World War II, obviously. But as far as like almost the Alice in Wonderland sort of vibes of a girl who through literature escapes into another world, and they're from the animation bits I've seen in the trailer, which is almost like a behind the scenes trailer, there is vibrant character design. Everything looks just immensely imaginative and beautiful from a stylistic standpoint. This is one that I am holding out hope that I can get the chance to see, because it is only playing once on Sunday the 20th at the festival. But as a huge fan of everything from, everybody loves Nightmare Before Christmas, and even like its successor of sorts, Corpse Bride. But more recently, man, I adore things that are coming from the Leica studio, whether it was Paranorman or Box Trolls. Obviously Coraline is a big one for me. My personal favorite, even though it's not as much on the spooktacular side of things, but definitely veering within genre. Kubo and the Two Strings, I just adore that film. So also with a name like Jaime En Fuego, being here in the Southwest desert here in the Phoenix metropolitan area, we have a awesome respect for the Hispanic culture, whether it's art, comida, música, whatever it may be. I am so very stoked about this film. So hopefully those in person will get the chance to check out I Am Frankelda. I'm assuming the title is Soy Frankelda. But guys, so that is the 6 picks from yours truly for the first 5 days of the Fantasia Festival. Once again, I've been Jaime En Fuego. I am coming at you here from Enfuegotainment on YouTube, as well as the Horror Show channel on YouTube. And there's going to be presumed reviews of a lot of these films provided upon like screening access and whatnot. But what a itinerary they have assembled, because this is only scratching the surface. This is the first 5 of those 19 days. So guys, guys, gals, whatever whatever you may be, I am what a just rad status opportunity to have the chance to cover this. So I've been Fuego. Y'all have been just a delight, and until this proverbial Wheel of Cobb coverage comes around once more, hasta luego, sin amigos, and yes, I have more coming at you soon. Adios.